She gasped as she broke the surface of the lake, inhaling big gulps of the cold, crisp mountain air. It was dark, the moon partly hidden behind cloud, but there was just enough light to make out the shoreline. The swim towards the bank was tiring, her sodden clothes threatening to drag her back under, but she persevered, at least until she heard the croaking. Deep and echoey, the rumble threw waves across the otherwise placid lake. Treading water, she turned her head and glanced behind her. At first, she thought they were spotlights, two yellow orbs hovering in the darkness. She assumed they were attached to a boat of some kind. That was, until the orbs blinked. The creature lumbered out of the shadows, a massive toad, 7, maybe 8 feet across, its hide mottled and warty. It opened its mouth, unfurling its tongue from behind row upon row of razor-sharp teeth. And then it leapt. The water leaper, more correctly referred to as the Llamhigyn Y Dwr, is a creature from Welsh folklore, said to dwell in the darkness at the very bottom of lakes. It has the body of a toad, and from its front limbs stretch bat-like wings. Yes, the Llamhigyn Y Dwr can fly, so the wary should keep their eyes on the sky as well as the depths. Unlike a toad, however, it has no rear legs, so its movement on land is cumbersome and slow. In the water, though, it is frighteningly fast. And the Llamhigyn Y Dwr has another deadly trick, a 15-foot-long tail that ends in a terrifying sting, allowing it to stun its prey and then devour them at its leisure. And what is its prey? Fish, mainly, and birds. But it will go for larger animals given half the chance, and Welsh farmers know better than to let their sheep stray too close to the lakeshore. And the farmers also know better than to get too close themselves. Let me tell you the tale of Bryn and Iwan Pritchard, two brothers who lived near Llyn in northwest Wales. The pair were out fishing one December day. A thick mist hovered over the surface of the lake, and the pale, watery sunlight could barely force its way through. The catch had been poor that day, and the weather was bitterly cold, and Iwan, the younger of the brothers, wanted to return to dry land and the warm hearth of the local pub. Bryn was having none of it. He was determined to stay out until they caught something worthy of their time. So Iwan huddled up within his coat and prepared for a long wait. Yet it seemed Bryn had been right to stay, for no sooner had Iwan settled back than Bryn's line went taut. Bryn hauled on the rod, but to no avail. Whatever he had snagged was huge, bigger than anything the brothers had snagged before. There was a hungry gleam in Bryn's eyes as he called on his brother to help him reel the fish in. Then the fish pulled back. The brothers found themselves dragged along, their fishing boat skipping across the lake like a stone, and, as they neared the shallows, the thing that was pulling them emerged from the depths. Iwan was not ashamed to say he screamed. The toad was enormous, bigger even than their boat. Wings flapped at its side, churning up the water and the silt, and a barbed tail curved over its back before stabbing down towards them. Iwan called on his brother to let go of the fishing rod, to release the creature before they were pulled too close to escape. But Bryn was paralysed with fear, and his grip was as hard as iron. Taking up his knife, Iwan leaned over his frozen brother and sawed through the fishing line. The line snapped, and the toad tumbled backwards, disappearing beneath the lake. Snatching up the oars, Iwan began to row for dear life in the direction of home. Later that night, the pair was sharing their story in the pub, as well as strengthening their courage with the local brew. Far from sympathising with the brothers, the townsfolk laughed at them. A giant toad with wings? Whoever had heard of such a thing? Surely that was just the ale talking. Ewan did not mind the jibes. He just wanted to forget the whole thing. But Bryn took the matter personally. "Doubt my word, will you?" he said. "I'll prove it to you. I'll catch that creature, and you can stuff it and mount it above your bar." This declaration drew yet more jeers, hardly the reaction Bryn was hoping for. He turned to his brother, but Ewan simply shook his head. It would be a long time before he was willing to go back out on the lake again. So, cursing his brother, Bryn stormed off towards the boathouse alone. The following morning, they found his hat and boots washed up on the shore of the lake. Bryn himself was never seen again. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe down below. Thank you for watching. I hope to be back with more tales very soon.